Hi guys, what is going on? It's your boy Vermilion Gaming, and today, unfortunately, there isn't going to be a career mode video as I'm trying to stack those up for while I'm away. So there's enough content for you there today. But next weekend is when the Premier League starts again. So I thought with a week and a half to go before that, I'm going to do my Premier League predictions right here, right now, before I go away. So they're not outdated, and I'm not doing it after the first day of the season. Obviously at the end of the season I'll come back to these and I'll review how I did and see how well I did. And don't be offended if I think your team's going to do badly this year, or not as high as you'd expect them to be or you want them to be. It's just my personal opinion. You can all have your opinions, and I want you guys to tell me down below in the comments who you think is going to finish where and how you think my predictions will end up, whether you think they'll be accurate or not. And the reason why I said this straight away is because I'm going off with a big one. So in last place, I think going to finish in last place is Swansea City. And whoa, calm down. Some of you are going to be thinking, right, you know nothing about football, like straight away. Swansea City have been one of the most consistent teams in the league since coming up. They're never going to finish in last place. But I'm not claiming to be a football expert, this is just my opinion. But at the moment, as of recording, Swansea do not have a striker. And you might mean, yeah they do, it's just not very good. Like youth players. No, they don't have a recognised striker in their squad. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm saying this. Another reason is Andre Ayew and Ashley Williams are linked to moves away from Swansea for different clubs, which is two of their best players gone. Obviously they do have Gylfi Sigurdsson, one of the most underrated midfielders in the Premier League. Personally, I think Sigurdsson's absolutely brilliant. And another reason why I think they're going to finish so low is because I know that it happened a couple of months before the end of the season, but sacking Gary Monk was a really poor decision for Swansea, because Gary Monk was a great manager. They've brought in the likes of Leroy Fer, who's a good player, but apart from that, nobody's really come in or come out for Swansea. They're obviously linked with Llorente at the moment. If they get Llorente, I think Llorente's really good, but I feel like they are still going to finish down there this season. They're not going to have a good season. In 19th place, I'm actually going with Burnley. Obviously, Burnley haven't done much in the transfer window so far, but they do have a decent enough side. They have the likes of Tom Heaton, former Man United and England goalkeeper. But their main strength is actually their attacking threat, with the likes of Andre Gray, Sam Vokes, Lucas Joecki, and also Ashley Barnes. They've got some good attackers, and obviously Scott Arfield is a very good creative midfielder. When Burnley were last in the Premier League, he shined in that season. But I just don't feel Burnley haven't done the right deals. They haven't even done any deals to sign anybody, so I don't feel like they're ready to really show what their team's made of and hang with the big boys in the Premier League. In 18th place though, I'm going to go with another newly promoted team in Hull City. Obviously Hull City are a good team. They've got the likes of, as you can see there, Dawson, MIER. I think that's true about Akpom potentially. They also have the likes of Alan McGregor, very good goalkeeper. Bruce and Davies are very good at the back, and Robertson, the young Scottish left back, is really good. I'm not going to sit here and name all their squad, but they do have some good players. Obviously they've just lost Diame to Newcastle, which is a very good signing for Newcastle, by the way. Diame's a great midfielder, personally, for me anyway. But I mean, they've got a good team, but losing Steve Bruce so close to the start of the season is a big blow. Obviously, I don't think they've got a new manager at the moment. I think Mike Phelan's in charge. Obviously, former Man United man. I think he was an assistant coach, but he was one of the coaches under Sir Alex Ferguson, so he's got a lot of experience, and I think he'll do okay if he gets a job. But I just don't feel like, with the signings they made, which they haven't, I think they've made one signing, I don't think they're ready to be able to just survive, even though I think it's going to be quite close to the team in 17th, who you might be a little bit surprised who it is. Watford. Okay, Watford had a great season last year, don't get me wrong. They were absolutely brilliant. from start to finish. Deeney and Ighalo were great up front, and when I watched Watford, I really enjoyed watching them because they were well put together team, played really well. Obviously Deeney looks really good, and so does Ighalo. But for me personally, losing Kike Sanchez Flores was their biggest blow, because he is just, I think he made their team more than anything, because he was such a good manager, and he gelled the team, he got the team playing the right kind of football, the football that he wanted them playing, and they played really well. I've obviously signed the centre back from Genk, I think it's Cabaselli. He is pretty good. I think he's a young Belgian centre back. He's quick and he's got physical. That could help him at the back, because I feel like that's where they struggle the most. But losing Abdi to Sheffield Wednesday, the midfielder, who was for me one of the better players last year, is a bit of a blow. But I think they're just going to survive relegation this year, but only by the skin of their teeth. In 16th place, though, we're going to Southampton. Once again, please calm down if you're having a icky fit or whatever. I think Southampton I think they came 7th. Was it 7th last year? Yeah, because United were 5th, Liverpool were 6th, Southampton were either 7th or 8th, or were they 6th? I can't remember, but they've got Europa League football this year, I believe anyway. So you might be thinking, why have you put them down in 16th? They're a great team. But they've lost, listen to this list, they've lost Mane, Wanyama, Ramirez, Pella. That is 4 of their better players. Pella, obviously a proven goal scorer. Mane, good goal scorer from Wanyama, just central to their midfield. And Ramirez, a good attacking midfielder. Obviously they're the likes of Austin, Romeo and Rodriguez, as you can see on the screen right now. But I feel like their team is really lacking it now. They've lost so many players over the last few years, and that's why I was a little bit dubious to put them this far down, because they've lost players in the past and they've been able to rebuild and do it again. And maybe the new Southampton manager can do well in the job, like Koeman did when he came in 2 years ago, and he was trolling everybody like with his looking at all my players in training. If you remember that was brilliant by Koeman, because obviously I pitched Pochettino and lost all the players, and Koeman built the team back up and they're selling players again, so that's why he's left for Everton. But I do hope Southampton do well, but I don't think they are going to do well this year, unfortunately. But they have signed Redmond from Norwich. He was good last year for Norwich, but I don't think it's enough for them to get top half football this year, unfortunately. In 15th, I've gone with Tony Pulis's men in West Bromwich Albion, and I think West Brom are a good team. I really do. Obviously, with the experience of Fletcher, Johnny Evans, also Ben Foster, they're a very experienced team. There's not too many young players in there. Obviously, it's looking very likely once again that they're going to lose Berahino, but if they don't, they don't. Pulis probably doesn't want to sell him, just like he didn't last year. But the signing of Matty Phillips from QPR is a good signing for me. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's great, but I think he's going to help with the squad depth in their team. Obviously, losing Sessegnon and Anichebe is a bit of a blow, but with the likes of Rondon in their team and stuff, I think West Brom are going to do well this year for their standards, and I think 15th is a good position for them because they're not being relegated. For me, coming in 14th is David Moyes' new team, Sunderland. I wanted to put these guys so high, but with the amount of quality and amount of competitiveness there is in the Premier League at the moment, I don't think they're going to do it. They currently haven't brought anybody, and they've only let the likes of like Danny Graham go. Nobody really like well known. I think Wes Brown's left. I'm not sure on that, but I think he's retired now. But David Moyes, for me, is one of my favourite managers. Obviously, as a Man United fan, most Man United fans are very bitter over the time. Moyes was at United with the 7th place finish and all that malarkey. But for me, I said when he was sacked that we should have given him another year, and I still stand by that. but I still don't think he would have done anything good at United, unfortunately, because I think David Moyes is a manager who can get the most out of players who aren't well known, really, who ain't going to cost a lot of money and don't have big reputations and big egos and bully him almost, because Moyes doesn't seem like a strong character to me on the outside. I might be completely wrong on that, but for me, he just doesn't seem like a character who could get with big egos like Rooney and stuff. Just couldn't deal with it. But with smaller clubs like Everton and now Sunderland, I think he's going to do well at Sunderland, and I think with the links of Januzaj and Fellaini, I think if he gets those two, Sunderland are going to be a force to be reckoned with almost. But I think 14th's fair because we're not sure whether we're going to be getting Januzaj and Fellaini yet. I hope they don't get Januzaj. I really like Januzaj and I like Fellaini, to be honest. But I think Sunderland are going to become 14th, and I think that's pretty justified. They're definitely going to have a better season than they did last year under Allardyce, even though Allardyce did do a good job of keeping them up. In 13th place, though, it's another bit of a shock one for me, how low down I put them. But it's Stoke City. Obviously, Stoke City have done some really good business already. Okay, they've only made one signing, but Joe Allen is a top quality signing. The Welsh Shabby himself. Unbelievable player, personally. You saw him at the Euros. Him along with Ramsey and Bale were bossing it for Wales and basically running the place. Obviously with the likes of Shaqiri, Bojan, Arnautovic may be going out to Everton. They're not too sure on that one yet. But I think they've got a really solid team, and with Butland coming back from injury soon as well, they've got a good team, but I just don't feel like they're going to be able to pick it up. I almost put these guys down in 16th because I didn't feel like they were going to really play well this year. I don't know what it is, but Stoke are always a solid team, and with the quality of the players who I just said, I think they'll do okay, but nothing spectacular. They'll definitely be aiming for Europa League football this year, but I don't think they're going to get anywhere close to it. In 12th place, I'm going with Koeman's new team, Everton, and once again, this is a very controversial one. You guys might be sat there watching this video thinking this kid knows nothing about football, and maybe you might be right. Maybe when I come back to see these at the end of the year, I'm going to be thinking, what was I thinking putting Everton in 12th? But at the moment, Everton just aren't a good team, and I say that quite with a heavy heart because I want Everton to do well. Because I think Everton is they've got such good fans and stuff, and with the likes of Barkley there, he's great. But my main concern is them losing Lukaku and Stones, and this is going ever closer with a bid of 65 million for Lukaku. You can't not accept that if you're an Everton. I think any Everton fan would take 65 million for Lukaku and 50 million for John Stones. I mean, they're getting mad money for these players, but I don't think they're going to be able to bring in the players good enough to replace them. There's obviously links of Arnautovic, like I said, and Ashley Williams going there. But I just don't feel like it's going to be a good season for Koeman or Everton. Could be completely wrong, but 12th place for me is going to be Everton. In 11th for me, it's Crystal Palace. A team which are actually doing really well under Pardew. Obviously, they played... my best memory of Palace from last year was the FA Cup final, where they did play really well, obviously, but lots of Punchin and Balassi there already. And I think their signings they've made this year have been very, very top quality, to be honest. Mandanda on a free transfer is a very good signing. He's going to be the number one goalkeeper, I'd expect. I think he's pretty good. Joel Tompkins is a good centre-back. 10 million was a bit dear. I feel like West Ham got the better out of that deal, but Tompkins helps strengthen their defence, obviously, after Palace lost Hangeland. They released him. And buying Townsend was a very good buy for me as well, because now they've got Zaha, Balassi and Townsend for those wing positions. They're very strong there. So that's why I think 11th place is going to be a good position for Palace this year. I think once again these guys will be aiming for Europa League football, but I just don't think they're going to get it. They've got rid of a lot of dead weight, so I think they've got a nice fresh squad, and I hope Pardew does well, but I just can't see them making the... I mean, I could see them making 10th possibly, but for me, in 10th place this year is Middlesbrough. And oh my word, I could be so very wrong. Middlesbrough could easily come last. But I kind of have belief in this young squad. I think this young squad are going to do an absolutely... I say young squad, but I think this squad's going to do some wonders. They've obviously got the likes of Jordan Rhodes, as you can see on the screen, Nugent. But I think their signings have been top class by the manager. I can't remember his name, it slipped my mind at the moment. But the signings of Victor Valdez, a top quality former world class goalkeeper, is really going to help them out. Obviously he's been outstandingly edge from Man United. I still don't understand why he ever went to Man United other than the money. With De Gea there, it just confuses me, but okay, whatever. But I think Valdez will be good for them. Obviously the signing of Negredo as well up front with the lots of Rhodes and Nugent's going to be really good for them. But yeah, I think Fisher's also a good signing for a wing position. But I just think Middlesbrough are going to storm it this year and just be the surprise package of the league table and come in 10th. Ninth place for me is going to be the team who are currently down 2-1 to a Slovakian team on aggregate for Europa League qualifying. I think West Ham United. West Ham obviously had a really good season last year under Bilic. Bilic is a very good manager, and the managers this year in the Premier League are absolutely outstanding, by the way. I can't believe how many top quality managers there are in the league at the moment. But West Ham, I feel like, are going to come ninth. Obviously got a superstar in Dimitri Payet now. The signing of Feghouli as well is a very good one in that, and for a free transfer is brilliant. Obviously getting rid of Tompkins was a good deal for them. And there's also talk of Tafare Saka going to West Brom or something. Was it West Brom? I can't remember, but yeah, it's talk of Tafare Saka leaving, which I think is not too bad of a deal for them. They've got Carroll, they've got I think Emenike is still there. I might be wrong on that, but I think he's still there. And Enner Valencia obviously had a good Copa America for Ecuador. But yeah, I think they've got a good team, but I just don't think with the bigger teams performing well this year, at least what you'd expect them to do. Unlike last season, West Ham are going to struggle this year to replicate what they did in the last season, because with the likes of Chelsea performing better, and Man United and Man City and Liverpool and teams just playing better, I think they're going to struggle this year. But for 8th place, I've gone with the winners of the league last year, Leicester City. Leicester, when I was thinking about the end of last year, they were lower down in my predictions for this year, but I feel like the signings they've made has really helped strengthen their squad. Obviously losing Kante is a bit of a big blow. Losing Kante is a big blow for them. But the signing of Mendy, apparently he's going to be the new Kante, which will be interesting to see. And obviously the signing of Ahmed Musa, he scores a lot of goals in the Russian league. I think that's really good for Leicester. And obviously the likes of Morgan still there, who's still there, Schmeichel, Vardy. And if they can hang on to Myers, I think the 8th place is justified. They could prove this wrong, they could do it again. I don't see them doing much in the Champions League. I see them getting knocked out in the group stages, to be honest with you. But, you know, I really do hope Leicester win the league again. If I was to go for a team other than Man United to win the league, it would be Leicester. So I really do hope they do well again, but I just can't see it happening. For me, in 7th place is Liverpool, and all you Liverpool fans are going to kill me. Like, you're a typical Man United fan, you think we're going to do crap, blah, 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 blah. Originally, when I was putting this together, I put Liverpool in 9th. Okay. But I've had a little think about it and I've put them up to 7th, and just, you know nothing about football. It's opinion based. Nobody could have guessed that Leicester City were going to win the league last year. If I'd have done a prediction video last year and gone Leicester City going to win the league, you'd have said, you don't know anything about football. How are Leicester going to win the league? Well, they did. So it's opinion based, and anything can happen in the Premier League. So I've gone Liverpool for 7th. I personally think they've had a really poor transfer window. Obviously, spending 34 million on Mane is a very big price tag for a player of that kind of quality. I mean, for Man United to get Mkhitaryan for 24, 27 million or something, I think I know who got the better deal there. Obviously, Mane is proven in the Premier League, though, so that's does give him a bit of a benefit. Obviously, Matip on a free transfer should be a good one. I haven't seen him play much, so I'm interested to see about that. Karius was unlucky to get injured the other day. I think he's out for a couple of months, so they're going to be relying on Mignolet again, which is good for everybody other than Liverpool. That's a bit harsh. But Liverpool fans are very harsh on Moreno. They don't think he's good enough. I think you need to leave Moreno alone. I think he's a good player. Obviously, he's not the greatest at defending, but the attacking threat he brings is pretty decent. But losing the likes of Allen and Ibe and Skirtle and Smith, I think it's been a poor transfer window for Liverpool. And yeah, I think they're going to come 7th. I mean, they've got the quality to make Europa League, like 5th place. I don't think they've got the quality for top 4 this year, though. But yeah, Klopp's a good manager, so he could potentially do anything. For me in 6th place, I've gone with Tottenham Hotspur. Can I just point out that I think that's their 3rd kit, the black and yellow one. That's the bloody EA Sports for winning Division 1 kit, that is. But yeah, that's not to do with this point. But I feel when I was making this video, I was kind of thinking Tottenham could potentially make top 4 again. I think they maybe just sneak into a top 4. But ultimately, I've judged it and I've gone for 6th place for Tottenham. Obviously, they've got the likes of the players you can see on the screen there. Lloris is a class keeper. Kane's a good striker. He just is very tied up at Euros. Dele Alli's one of the new up-and-coming stars. Vertonghen, very solid at the back. The signing of Wanyama is brilliant to help bolster midfield with Eric Dyer. I think they've got a really good team. And Janssen's a good striker to help shift the workload off Kane, because Kane was basically their only threat last year. So I think Janssen's going to help interchange. And I think he's quite a similar player to Kane. Haven't seen much of him, but I've seen a few clips. And that's what I think about him. For me, in 5th place this year, I mean, if you guys have kept track of who I've picked, oh my lord, Bournemouth, please don't hate me. Don't kill me in the comments of this. But I just think that Bournemouth are going to do really well this year. I mean, Eddie Howe's a good manager and did really well with them at the end of last year. And with the signings he's made, like Ibe and Smith and Lewis Cook from Leeds, I think their team looks really, really good. And I could be completely wrong with this and they could flop. But with the likes of Wilson, Afobe, Stanislas, they've just got a good team. They really have. And obviously losing Richie was a bad thing for them. But getting Ibe, it's a lot better player. Andrew Sermon, obviously a good player in midfield as well. Harry Harter. I think Bournemouth's team are going to be the surprise of the season. And I think they're going to come 5th. I think they're going to come close to Champions League. And I could be completely off my rockers for this. But I just feel like they're going to do it. And now we're moving into the top 4. In 4th place for me, I'm going to be going with Arsenal. And Arsenal, a team who came 2nd last year. And last year was their best chance to win the league, and I don't think Wenger's going to do it again, personally. I don't think Wenger's going to be able to win the league again with this Arsenal team. I mean, they do have some quality in there. Hector Bellerin looks like a great right back. Cazorla, Ozil, Alexis Sanchez, obviously Petr Cech. I mean, they've got a good team, but just can't see them doing any better than 4th this year. I just don't think they've got the quality to be able to do it. I mean, they're looking at Son in Lacazette, but personally I think Giroud's a good striker who just gets the blame for everything that goes wrong at Arsenal, which is a bit harsh, but I don't think we're going to come any higher than 4th. So yeah, Arsenal are 4th in my prediction. For 3rd place, I'm going with Chelsea. Chelsea obviously had a very poor season last year. I think they finished 10th. And, I mean, if it wasn't for Leicester doing so well this year, people would have talked about Chelsea a lot more, just like they talked about Moyes when he came 7th, but Chelsea came 10th last year. That was worse than when United came 7th. I need to pipe down a bit. But yeah, I think Chelsea and Conte have done some good business so far. I think Kante's a very good signing for them. I think Batshuayi could be good as well, but obviously only time will tell with him. I think 65 million for Lukaku is ridiculous. And for a player you let go for so cheap is very, very stupid in my opinion. But I can't talk about that, can I? Salah is actually signed for Roma today as well, but I don't think he's going to be missed at Chelsea too much. I think Chelsea got a good team. I think Diego Costa could potentially be leaving, and I don't think that's a bad thing for Chelsea, to be honest. I think Costa just isn't the kind of player that they need at the club anymore. But yeah, I think they'll come third. I think they'll have a good season, and it'll be good to see if they can get back into Champions League. For my second place team, I'm going with my team at Manchester United. I mean, this is a tough one for me, especially after you'll be able to see who's going to be first in a second, or you may have worked it out because I haven't said them yet. But honestly, as a Man United fan, I'm still a little bit here nor there about what I feel about United this year. Obviously, we've got a great team with De Gea, Shaw, Ibrahimovic, Mkhitaryan, Smalling, Rooney, Martial, Rashford, Fosu Mensah, Bailey, but I'm happy with Champions League football for next year, and I know that's an Arsenal kind of way of thinking, but I just think it's what's good for us at the moment, and to be able to stabilise the team with Mourinho. Obviously not the greatest fan of Mourinho or Ibrahimovic, but I think that we'll do well. Hopefully we'll come second, but mainly my aim is to finish top four, but I think we'll come second, and it breaks my heart to say I think the team that will come first is Manchester City. How am I saying this as a Man United fan? Seriously, I can't believe I'm saying this as a United fan, and I want my team to win the league. Of course I do. I want United to come first. I want United to beat City 8-1 every 2 times we play them. I want them to smash them. I want City to be relegated and all that shit. But it's just not going to happen. City have got one of the best teams in the league. With the signings of Gundogan and Nolito and Sane to add on to the likes of De Bruyne, Aguero, Sterling, David Silva, Yaya Toure, Joe Hart. Their team is just looking absolutely insane. And Kelechi Iheanacho, oh my word, what a player he is. He just doesn't get enough playing time. And I'm glad that Guardiola hasn't signed a striker for Man City, because I think Iheanacho, the more game time he gets, the better he'll be. Obviously, Guardiola, one of the best managers in the world, and I feel like he's just going to be the ultimate difference to this Manchester City team. Obviously, I won't be happy if City win the league, and especially after a couple of years ago, the last day season. Shit. Yeah, I hate that. I hate thinking about that. I can't watch that clip, really. If it comes on the telly, the Sky Sports news ad, me and my dad have to turn it off because it just hurts a little bit inside. Hurts a little bit inside for the to think about that, but whatever. Time goes on, and yeah, I think the City will be winning the league this year. Unfortunately, I hope they don't, but I'd rather City than Liverpool at the end of the day. So there we go, there's all my predictions in a row down the left hand side. So obviously City to win the league, United in second, Chelsea in third, Arsenal fourth, Bournemouth fifth, Spurs sixth, Liverpool seventh, Leicester eighth, West Ham ninth, Middlesbrough 10th, Crystal Palace 11th, Everton 12th, Stoke 13th, Sunderland 14th, West Brom 15th, Southampton 16th, Watford 17th, Hull 18th, Burnley 19th, and Swansea 20th. And as you can see on the right hand side, I've gone with my cup winners. So obviously Premier League for Manchester City. I think the Capital One Cup will be won by Liverpool this year. I don't know why, I just have a bit of a feeling that they're going to win a bit of silverware this year. And I think Manchester United will actually retain the FA Cup after we did win it last year. But yeah, like I said, I'll be coming back to these at the end of the year to see how well I did. But yeah, let me know down below, guys, what you do think about my predictions and what your predictions are for who's going to win the league and who's going to get relegated. I'll be very interested to know your opinions. Yeah, sorry about no charisma today, but I'm trying to build up the episodes for a while I'm away. This video obviously took me a long time to put together, to get all the facts for and the transfers and stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys do like this video. If you did enjoy it, please leave a big thumbs up, that'd be much appreciated. Subscribe to my channel for more content every single day. But for now, guys, that is all. Goodbye.